If you ever feel like your real estate agent is ruining your deal, this episode is for you. I always let my clients talk to the other side if they desire, and here is why it works. The first reason it works is because the client feels respected and like they are in control. I would say that you have two types of people. You have people who just kind of want to be told what to do. They rely on their real estate agent very heavily, and they let that person, their real estate agent, guide them, tell them, almost just run with everything. And then you have the other person who's a total alpha. Maybe they run their own business, they just are a control freak, whatever the reason. And they don't want to feel like they're left out. They want to feel like they're part of the negotiation and the communication. And when a client is starting to get frustrated, you have to remember that this is a game of telephone. So you have, if I have the seller and I have a conversation, and then I take the conversation we had to the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent and I have a conversation, and then from there, that person takes it to their client, and then that real estate agent and their buyer have a different conversation. This has been edited many times before it actually arrives to the buyer, and we don't know what kind of mood they're in. We don't know how what good of if they've had a good day, if they misinterpreted, if they fully understood. It's a game of telephone. And so when things start getting into that gray zone and it's kind of hard to understand like which way are things going to go, that's when clients who have really good business skills start to get frustrated. The second reason I let my clients talk to the other side is because I get a front row seat to learn from them. Typically the people who are on the more controlling side, they want to be part of the conversation because they know what they're doing. They've negotiated, they've communicated, they're successful, they're wealthy, they run big companies. They have a lot more life experience and business experience than I have. So why should I think that I'm not as valuable, which leads me to my third point. A lot of real estate agents don't want their clients talking to the other side because the real estate agent thinks it devalues them. And I say this in a way that is a negative because I have introduced my client to someone else and they fired me and hired her. That's happened one time in 18 years, but it does happen. And there's always a little bit of fear that when a real estate agent allows their client to talk to another real estate agent, it's like the person who's representing their client is going to be exposed, that they don't know enough, that they're not good enough, that maybe they lied. Like you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, which is why this is so important to allow your clients to be a part of the conversation. The fourth reason I let my clients talk to the other side is because, actually, scratch that. This is the fourth thing I have to say is the exercise that I do. So when I have a client who's like, hey, I just want to talk to the other side, I say, you know what? That's totally fine. Let's plan a time to get on a call before we call the other agent. And I want to just write out an email and take all of the notes. I want them to just free talk. And I'm on the computer taking all of the notes. Sometimes they're fragmented sentences, sometimes they're complete thoughts, but I read it back to them and then we pick it apart. We decide what sounds best, what order to put it in. They usually ask my opinion, like, what do you think of this? And together we come up with an email that they feel comfortable because they're in control. The client is a part of this and we send it to the other side. And I have to say, this is very effective. It typically reduces the amount of like the intense desire to talk to the other side because we had this super productive conversation and now they know exactly what's being said and in the email and what's in the email that's going to be sent to the other side. Because I send it to them so they can see it. We keep editing it until it's perfect. And that's one way that I find clients work best. And if that doesn't suffice, then we go to the conversation, which I truly don't have an issue with it. I want my clients to trust me, and I know that it doesn't make my client feel like I shouldn't get paid. It doesn't make my client feel like I'm stupid. There's a lot of situations in real estate that we don't always come across. And I can't tell you how many times I've called my broker of like 50 years he was in the business. And he's like, Lauren, I've never heard of this situation before. I don't really know what to do. I got to think about it. And that's okay. So, this is super important to me because a lot of real estate agents do somewhat ruin a deal. And when I talk to people about real estate agents, they typically say, my real estate agent ruined the deal. And I always rebuttal and say, because they didn't let you talk to the other side. And then they say, yeah, it was really frustrating. Like I couldn't get through. I couldn't get what I needed to say out. And I let them know I certainly allow that. And I've never gotten business from it necessarily, but it maybe helps people realize that there's other ways of working out there. And when a real estate agent is blocking, editing, delaying, keeping you out of the conversation, it's a little bit of a red flag. It doesn't feel very good. You want everything to be transparent when you're in the middle of negotiations. So, if you are looking for a real estate agent in your local area, there is a link in the description box that you can click on and send me what city and state you are interested in buying or selling, and I can put you in touch with a real estate agent who's there, who has the same standards, quality of care, and experience that I have. So, again, my name is Lauren House, and thank you for your time.